Alright, welcome back. So today we're looking at the first lesson that we're doing on index laws. And the first thing we understand is what an index is and what index form is actually saying. So in an index, there's a few parts. So we have something like a 3 to the power of 2. In this part here, the large number is the base, and the small number is either called the power, the index, the exponent, or the order. It's a little bit complicated, but depending on where you are in the world, you may have a different word for this. So what does this mean? Well, 3 to the power of 2 means 3 times 3. This is the expanded form. This is the index form. And similarly, 3 to the power of 3 is equal to 3 times 3 times 3. So the power, or the index, or the exponent tells how many times a number is being multiplied by itself. And an easy way to convert between the two of them is to simply count the number of times a value shows up, or the base shows up. So when we have this, we can easily switch between each form. And one way is more useful sometimes, and another form is more useful others. So understanding what they mean and switching between them is useful. The last thing I want to look at is 3. Now, the number 3 may not seem to have a power associated and with it, and might not seem to be in index form, but it is actually the same as 3 to the power of 1. We just don't usually write this, but it's important to remember that it does exist. Alright, with that information out of the way, let's get started on our first question. So, for our first one, we're looking at A, and for A, we're going to write either an expanded form or index form as required. Now, it's already in index form. We have the base of 10, and we have the power, which is 4, which means this is 10 times 10 times 10 times 10. 1 10, 2 10s, 3 10s, 4 10s, and this is our expanded form. For B, it's given us an expanded form for a potential index, and what we need to do is take our base, which is 2, and then count up how many 2's we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. 2 to the power of 6. For our next one, we have 11 to the power of 5. Okay, so that's 11 times 11 times 11 times 11 times 11. And finally, for D, we have 3 times 3 times 3 times 3, which is 3 to the power of 4. Before we go, there's a couple of other important powers you need to be aware of. Now, typically when we see something like 3 to the power of 2, we actually say 3 squared. And 3 to the power of 3, we can sometimes say as 3 cubed. But everyone will always understand what you're saying if you say the base to the power of a number. So 2 to the power of 4 is just a 2 with a 4 as the index. Alright, that's it for this video. Hopefully it was helpful, and I will see you in the next one.